Hello, in the last video, we went over logging into McGraw-Hill Connect and the ebook and the smart book questions. The other items you'll be doing in Connect will be the homework, and you'll also be taking your test in Connect. Now, just as a side note, the homework is not timed, so you can save it and come back to it. Tests are timed. You cannot get back into them once your time has expired. So make sure you've set down the allotted amount of time to take the test. It will show you how much time you have before you enter. Okay, so we're going to look at Chapter 1 homework. You can click on the link, and it should automatically then, once you're signed into Connect, launch you into that homework assignment, in this case, Chapter 1. Now it takes me to instructor view, so I'm going to switch it here to student view. So this is how it will look to you. Okay, so this is Chapter 1's homework. It shows you down here how many exercises have been assigned, exercise and or problems. Looks like there's 7, and it will show you up here which exercise number it is. You can go to next. For example, there's exercise 1, 2, 1, 3, all the way through all 7 of them. I'm going to go back to exercise 1, 1. For each exercise and problem, no matter how many parts I have to them, you get 5 check my works. And notice up here in the corner, it tells you how many you have left. Some of them are a little bit easier, would drop down. Others are not. They may be more fill in with numbers or journal entries or something like that. Okay, so here it is a 50-50. You're just identifying it as a direct cost or indirect cost, which you'll learn about in this chapter. So I'm just going to select anything here on a couple of them. Now, what you'd want to do is completely answer all parts to that problem. This particular problem just has one part. I'll show you in a moment one that has more than one part. Okay. And once you've answered it all and you're confident, you can use one of your check my works. So I'll use a check my work. It just says you could check your work for this question a total of 5 times. Checking it now counts as 1. Cannot be undone. Check my work. So what happens is it does tell me which ones are wrong. Now, a disadvantage to this program is the fact that once I hit return to question where I can answer them again, these red check marks are going to go away. So you'll want to either take a snapshot or you'll want to take a middle note of which ones you have wrong. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and just take a middle note and just fix a couple of them. So when you're ready to use your second attempt on them, go to return to question. And again, notice it went away, but I remember this one was marked wrong. So this one probably is direct. This one was indirect. So again, you might want to take a snapshot or write it down so that you could fix them all. And then you can use another check my work. Okay, and you have you have to return to question each time. But again, take a middle note of which ones you had wrong and right. That's kind of the disadvantage to it. Okay, you continue on until you get them all right, or you've used up all your check my works, and then you can go on to the next question. So there's question 1, 2. Go on to the next question, 1, 3. Okay, I'm going to go on to the next question, 1, 4, because this one's one that has a couple of different parts. Now, I'm not going to worry about getting it right here. I'm just going to demonstrate how it works. So you'll want to read through the problem, get all the information, and notice there's a required 1 and a required 2. Okay, so let's start with required 1. Fixed cost are $1,200, so I know that, so I'm going to go ahead and fill that in. I'll get something right that way. Now, a neat part for this program is it does do some of the math for you. Notice it brought that down. And I'm just going to make up a number for variable cost. And notice that it did add that together. So that is cool that it does some of the math part. Okay, and then I'll just put in a cost per unit. I'll just make something up here. Oh, and it tells me how many decimal places to take it to. So I will erase the 1 0. I'll just put 0.35. Oh, gotta close it out. There we go. It also tells you in the instructions how many decimal places that you should take it to. Oh, 3 decimal places. Okay, so it took it for me. So I'll just add an extra number to you. Sorry, I misread 3 decimal places. Okay, and it does tell you in the problem to take it to 3 decimal places and corrects you if you're wrong. Okay, now, before you use a check my work though, you do want to go on and look at required to, because it is for the entire problem. And I will just select an answer here. I'll say increase. Okay, so now I've answered both parts of it. Okay, I'm going to go back to part 1 and do a check my work. Now again, I want to take a screenshot or a mental picture of what I had wrong there. And then I also, though, before I go to return to question, go to required to see what you'd missed there. So you do have to look at each of the requireds before you return to the question. Okay, then I return to the question. Hopefully I took a snapshot or a mental note of what was wrong, and I could go in and correct part 1, go in and correct part 2. I'll just change that to decrease. Okay, go back to part 1, use another check my work. And I didn't change anything in part 1. I would have if I was really working this, and then I got part 2 right. Okay, I'd want to take a mental note of what's still wrong in part 1, and then return to question. Okay, and then once I finish that, I can go on to the next problem. Okay, now once you use a check my work, it does automatically save. If you're not done with it though, to make sure it saved everything, you want to go back into it later. Again, homework is not timed. You could do save and exit, go back into it later. When you are done with it, make sure you hit that submit. And what happens when you hit the submit is it will show you your score. You can go to view results. It will show you your score, what you got right, what you got wrong. And you see you can also click show correct answers. So it will also show you the correct answers if you didn't get it all right. And you could go from question to question, go to the next one, same thing, okay, and show correct answers in case I didn't get it right. So it's a great way to go back and double check yourself for anything that you may not have gotten right within the 5 attempts. Okay, and then you can exit out and you're done. And your scores, by the way, will automatically be imported into Canvas. Okay, also keep in mind that tests are done the same way, but tests will show a timer up in the corner, and you cannot get back into the test once the time is up. So you want to make sure you sit down for one setting to take your test. Thank you very much, and I hope you enjoy the features of Connect. If you have any questions over it, reach out to myself or your instructor. Thank you. Bye.